What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. After leaving the Truck Camper Adventure Rally in Quartzsite, Arizona, we've made our way over to Las Vegas where we have our storage unit. So we've been in and out of our storage unit, kind of dropping some stuff off, taking some stuff, doing things like that, and also having fun in the area. We really love this area, but it is now time to get down to business. We have some maintenance we need to do and also some things we need to fix, so we figured we would take you along for that and kind of show you what it's like to get things done on the road. And our first spot that we're at today is Discount Tire.
So the reason why we're here at Discount Tire first is we actually came here yesterday. I knew that our driver's side dualies had a slow leak. One was because of the outer one was because of a bad plug put in by yours truly. Discount Tire actually gave me a new one yesterday and I fixed it and it's actually mint. But the inside dually had a leak coming from the valve stem. They took the tire off and realized that the custom Stasworks doesn't have a normal valve stem. So the valve stem actually broke completely yesterday. And so with two-piece wheels and different type of valve stems, they actually couldn't do anything for me yesterday. I ordered the valve stems online, got them overnight, and they said they'd put them back on, or put it back on. So here we are. We got a 10-ton jack under the truck. It's gonna jack it up, they're gonna take it all off and replace the valve stem. We should be good to go on that part of our maintenance that we have to get done. And so this is actually what the valve stem looks like. It is an air tank valve, 1/4 inch, with a Schrader valve on the other side. So the extension that goes from the inner dually to the outer dually, from the inner dually to the outer dually actually connects to this, and this is where it broke off. So let's get this replaced. So you can see here's the extension. This is where it normally connects. But when they took it off yesterday, it was just barely leaking, and then they rolled the tire around and this hit the ground and actually cracked off. But you can tell we've been riding around with 0 PSI because obviously it won't hold any without the end of the valve. So we're gonna get this all fixed up. Thanks to our boy Gavin here, who's helping us out. And what's nice about coming to Discount Tires is that they do free patches, they do free valve stem stuff, they do free rotations. On the dualies, it's obviously pretty hard to rotate. But what's nice is since dualies are so new, and then these wheels are the Stasworks custom wheels, I'm actually learning a lot. Like I learned that this, to screw this off is a 10mm, and I could have just lined something up and did it myself, but without having the issue, I would have never learned it. And now I just learned that the valve stem is like a 12. So learning something new every day, that's what it's all about. Also love Discount Tire. This is not sponsored. Just highly recommend going there every 6,000 miles to rotate so your tires last. See, so she literally just screwed back in. We're not wrong. Go ahead, yeah, I'll go.
A lot of times things that seem like they're gonna be quick fixes are not. The guy actually did already replace the valve stem and it was still leaking a lot slower than it was before, but still leaking. He tried plumber's tape or something around it. Was it plumber's tape?
No, it's like PVC tape.
PVC tape, and it's still leaking. So now they're trying to figure out another solution, but I feel like that's just one of the things with fixing stuff. It sounds like it's always gonna be super easy, a quick fix. Sometimes it is, and other times it most definitely is not.
Right there. Yeah, that's it. Right there. Yeah. So we got to Discount Tire around 4 o'clock. They checked us in and we didn't start getting looked at until around 4:30. But basically what took so long was that the fitting was having air, like a little bit of air leakage, and not because it was a bad fitting or anything, but because we couldn't get it to sit properly. They tried, we didn't have any Teflon or PVC or plumber's tape or anything to really seal it. So they ended up using a Teflon rubber product and it worked magic. And it worked like magic, I should say. So that's fixed. It did take a little bit longer than expected, but can't really be mad about it. It's fixed, that's all that matters. So yesterday we showed you how easy it was to get a tire repair or anything done with tires done for practically free. Discount Tire is great for that. shout out to Discount Tire, I guess. But today, we have quite the list of things we need to get done, from replacing our fan clutch to changing our oil and doing our fuel filter. So it's not a lot, but it's enough to take up enough time. And then we're also hoping to get that all done in time for a tint appointment at 4 o'clock. So we're here at AutoZone. This is where I typically do all my stuff, at least when it comes to oil and fuel filters, because they will take the discarded stuff and pour it or get rid of it for you for free. So I'm gonna do everything here. I'm gonna go inside, get my oil, get some stuff I need to do the fan clutch, and we're gonna get to work. And this is my work attire. I used to be in construction, and so I wear this shirt that I still have. It works out great. I really need coveralls, so don't make fun of me. You can tell I spill oil and get stuff on me all the time, but I've gotten really good oil changes and I actually spill none now. So yeah, kind of look homeless, but it's all good.
And for me, my work outfit is always just all black, because usually I don't have to do too much, but if I have to grab anything or help anything with the truck and it's all dirty, I always get dirty, so black is a win for me.
So we just went inside AutoZone and got most of what we needed. We just didn't get oil because I wasn't sure if I used 1540 or 540. So I'm gonna check what I have left over before I go in and buy that. And we're gonna get started here on this fan clutch. And so the reason why we're replacing it is because I think like June of 24, our AC went out. It was literally smoking from under the hood and the fan clutch was really loud. I didn't think anything of it. It was just droning really loud. We actually took a video hoping that you're gonna be able to hear it. But if you can't, just take my word on it. AC compressor ended up going bad, and we checked everything. So my father-in-law and I went through the entire truck, at least the compressor, the valve extension or expansion valve, and then also looked at the condenser. The condenser looked great. The expansion valve, usually if the compressor goes bad, you should replace it. So we replaced the compressor and the expansion valve, and then the AC worked great, but that fan clutch was still getting loud. So we kind of ruled out the fact that the compressor wasn't really the main problem. It was a problem because the fan clutch wasn't keeping it cool enough. So that went bad, so that was replaced. I know this is a whole story, but basically the fan clutch needs to be replaced. It's not a good fan clutch. It's clearly going bad. And so that's what we're gonna do. It's a little bit of a process. I've never done this before, but fingers crossed it doesn't take that long. Let's get started on that. And then once the truck is cooled, we'll do the oil and the fuel filters and all that kind of stuff. So let's start with the fan clutch.
Wish us luck.
Yeah, we're gonna need it. The fan clutch actually sits behind this shroud, and so if you remove this entire air filter in the air filter box, or at least the top piece in this connection here, you can access everything right back here. And so that's the goal. I've taken this off before. I've never changed the fan clutch, but I watched a few YouTube videos, and like I say, I'm YouTube certified. So let's see if we can get it done. I'm gonna loosen this part up, pull this entire thing off, and hopefully have access to that motor back there. I can just toss it out of the way like that. Okay, well that's out of the way, that was easy. Who thought this was a good design? So obviously this was supposed to be done already. It's been a few hours actually, and the main issue I'm having is on the back side of the fan clutch, there's this huge bolt. And so I had to actually rent their tools here at AutoZone, and I'm gonna try to find the tool I've been using. It's this guy, but it's a 44 or a 40. It's a 44 millimeter, and it comes in a whole set of different wrenches and specifically for the fan clutch. But the big problem I'm having here is that it's so seized on there, it's literally stuck to the water pump pulley on the backside. And so I went to go rent the water pump pulley holder thing here at AutoZone, and of course this is a hub store. I try to go to the hub stores because they usually have everything you need, and this one doesn't have that pulley. So the fan clutch is practically almost all the way removed besides that one piece or that one nut. So now my truck is not drivable because I'm not gonna put it all back together. So we're gonna take an Uber or a Lyft to the store 2 miles away that has this pulley holder and back. Unfortunately, when you buy a truck that you've never taken apart really before, besides a few times, things are like seized on there when it's not really taken care of. I'm not really sure. It's just seized on there. So we're gonna go get this pulley holder and come back and hopefully get this thing right off immediately. And what's cool about if you rent the tools here at AutoZone, you basically rent them for whatever price, and when you turn them, you get all your money back. So it's $80 to rent the set, $80 to rent the pulley holder, and we'll return it all when we're done. And then hopefully it'll be a pretty smooth sailing process to just do the oil change or put it all back together and then change the oil like I know how to do pretty easily, as well as the fuel filters. So this place is open 24 hours and that obviously helps a lot. All right, this should solve all of our problems. The fan pulley holder or water cooler pulley holder thing should fix all of our problems, but fingers crossed. We literally watched a YouTube video on the guy doing the install on this and it was like 30 minutes. But of course the line at the first AutoZone was like 30 minutes alone. This one was actually really quick, but we're about to hop back in the Uber. Fingers crossed we stick this sucker on and bam, break it loose because I am exhausted from this stupid fan clutch. Let's get this thing done.
All right, we are back at the truck. We've got the tool that we need, and literally on the instructions, it says to find 2 bolts that fit in here. So luckily we have a bag of freaking bolts. You would think that they would
supply them maybe?
Maybe supply the bolts so you don't have to find them, but...
Yeah, so basically these bolts sit inside the water pump pulley. There's 2 bolts that fit. And what I was using was needle nose pliers, but that was good enough. So hopefully this does the trick. I mean, they fit enough that this is going to work. I'm not giving up. This is gonna work. That one fits. No, don't lose it, don't lose it. Okay. Where's the second? Oh, there it is. I freaking got it. So the key was to buy these M10 nuts, because there's no, I found 2, but I had to go buy them, stick them in there even though they were still loose, freaking crank that thing on there, put the tool against the metal piece in the truck and just whack at it with a hammer. And I got it. It was freaking seized so bad. I was literally so close to giving up, but I got it. I got it. Thank goodness. The sun was going down on my watch on. Sometimes things like this on the road take way longer than you expect them to. But this, I did it. I wasn't letting this truck tell me no. I almost gave up though, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna smash this, finish this oil change. I'm actually stoked now. Do the fuel filters, find a place to stay for the night. So let's finish this off because we're literally losing light. Like literally, not metaphorically. Let's do it. And it also doesn't help that this AutoZone is the hub. It's open 24 hours, which is really nice. But the problem with that is the fact that the line every single time I go in is literally 30 minutes. So the first time we went in, we waited 30 minutes. Second time I went in, 30 minutes. Just now I went in for another thing, 30 minutes. It's always 30 minutes, but...
I think it was longer.
Yeah, there's no more waiting 30 minutes because now we got the fan clutch in our hand. Oh, thank goodness. So you've got the old one, obviously. Disgusting. The backside, at least. Ew. Then you get this new one. Beautiful. Let's put the sucker on. I'm tired of looking at it outside of the truck. Let's get it back on and start our oil change, which should actually only take 25-30 minutes.
Grayson got the fan back in.
Put the air box back on. All the hoses back where they go. Now it's time to change the oil. That should be a lot quicker of a process. It will be a lot quicker of a process. We actually just added this drain valve that makes everything a lot easier. We've never used it yet, but we added it last time we did our oil change, so hopefully it makes it a lot easier. That was the whole point of adding it. How we do our oil changes is actually pretty easy. I just use a big 5-gallon bucket. Oil should be pretty cool at this point, so let's get under there, put this under where the oil collects or comes out. And let's get going. This is the device we just added. Should make this a lot easier to process. It's actually quite scary because it all just kind of shoots out at you because it's at an angle. Let me just try to prop my phone up. And I'm pretty sure, so it actually comes at a lot better of an angle. It used to shoot all the way out here and you'd have to catch it. But this angle is a lot better and you don't even need any tools. You literally just need to pull this little black thing out of here. It allows you to twist the knob and then it drains. I will say it drains a lot slower than normal, but that's totally fine. It's more mess free, or less of a mess, however you want me to say it. This is much easier. All right, so as you can see, the oil is still draining here. It just drains actually so slow with this. It took 30 minutes just to drain. And so it's still kind of draining here, but the bucket is in a good enough position to where I can actually pull the oil filter off at the same time. And this is usually a messy job, so I'm not stoked about it, but it's gotta get done. Someone's gotta do it, right? So you just gotta make sure and pray that you don't drop the oil filter and just go, 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 go. I usually don't do it this fast, and it usually just starts spilling on me. But it looks like, oh, see?
Yummy.
And you've always kind of got to get a little bit on you. There's no way around that, unfortunately. I wish there was. But then I just drain this out and then put the new one on and then fill it back up. So I can easily just walk this bucket right into AutoZone, and they would take it, but I'm not that guy. So I usually just funnel everything back into the old oil containers and then bring it in so they can just dump it all and keep the container. The goal is old oil, new container or used container, bring it inside.
We got the fan clutch switched out, the oil changed, and as you guys saw, obviously it took us a lot longer than expected to switch out the fan clutch due to the complications that we had and everything like that. So there were a few other things we were planning on getting done today, but since we did it today, we're gonna find camp for the night, and then tomorrow we'll be back at it and we'll get the rest of that fixed and finished and done. Another day, another AutoZone. We're gonna be getting one more thing done today. We're gonna be doing our fuel filters. We were planning on also getting tint done today, but unfortunately the guy who was gonna do the tint said it has just been way too windy here, which it has been. I'm not sure if you can hear it or see it, but it has been so windy, and so he said he can't get that done, unfortunately. So we'll be getting that done further down the road, probably somewhere else, probably not in this area because we won't be here for that much longer, but we can get our fuel filters done, so that's what we're gonna do.
So for the fuel filters, they're located in an interesting spot for the cab chassis. This is obviously the tank, so the fuel filters are right in front of it. And so I put a 5-gallon bucket there, and it's got this little yellow valve on there that you turn, and it lets the fuel, it drains the fuel filter out before, or at least the underbody fuel filter out before you actually replace it, so you're not just getting covered in diesel the entire time. So, don't have time to waste. Let's drain this fuel filter. It's 4:21 and I started about 4 minutes ago draining it. This should actually only take like 15-20 minutes. Probably less for the bottom one, but we'll find out. Alrighty, so this is a little case that the fuel filter, at least the underbody fuel rail fuel filter goes into. And so it comes with a little grommet. This is the Motorcraft one, so it's OEM. And this little grommet gets, usually there's one in there, but I took it out already. And you just push it in. And if you want to see what the old filter looks like, I'll show you in a second. Here's the old filter. It's pretty gross actually. And that's the new filter. Just to give you an idea of what they look like. I'm gonna put this thing together, get this filter back in there, put it back up so we can do the one that's actually in the engine bay. This one's a little more annoying for the cab chassis. I preferred doing the underbody one on my 250 because it was like in a better position. But the upper ones are almost identical positionings and pretty easy to do actually. Now it's time to do the upper fuel filter, and this one's located in the engine bay near where you would check your like transmission fluid or your oil. And this one is scarier because obviously diesel's up here and there's your engine. So the whole point of doing this one is to be as careful as possible and pull this out. It kind of untwists and comes out. It's actually a lot easier than the other one because you're not like upside down doing it. You just got to be a little bit more careful. If you get this off, then you just slide it off. Old filter out, new filter in, hooking it back up. This blue one goes on first. I like to do the blue one first. It slides in here. Let's pull these rags out of the way. Slides in. You could do white first actually. Doesn't really matter. Once they get on, clamp them closed. Make sure it's locked into place. Pull this out. Give it a little wipe. It's as good as new. The next step here is, since we drained all of the fuel, is before you turn the truck on, you actually just want to prime it. So you're gonna put the key in, turn it, and it'll start priming the fuel filters that are now there. And you kind of want to do this. I do it twice. One time is probably enough, but you can hear it doing it.
Yeah, you can hear it.
I'll let Ashley go capture that because that's pretty cool actually. So it's obviously filling back up because I've drained it. And then once it's completely full, because it's got to refill the front one as well, turn that sucker on. Sounds like it's primed. Let's try it. I think it starts a little rough every time, so.
I can still hear it.
Just like that, our fuel filters are changed. It does that every time. It starts like pretty rough, but it works out for us. And it's pretty easy to do right outside of AutoZone. without needing to go to a shop, I saved us a lot of money doing that.
Thank you guys for coming along with us to get some maintenance done and just some routine things that you need to do while living on the road. And as you can tell, a lot of times things don't go as planned, but that's kind of just what it's about, is being able to go with the flow as much as possible. But we wanted to thank you guys for watching this video. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. And we have a very exciting upgrade in the next video, and we're super excited to share it with you. So definitely make sure you have your notifications on so you see when we post next, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!